Hello, I'm Dawn Freeman, the President and CEO of the Securus Foundation. May is the National Prisoner Family Month. The theme this year is closing the empathy gap. What is empathy, you may ask? Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. And today, I want to share with you my family's experiences with incarceration, reentry, and recidivism. First, I want to start with just telling you a little bit about my family background. I have a very diverse family. We have Caucasian family members, we have African American family members, we have Indian family members, we have Puerto Rican family members. We are the melting pot, I would like to say, and I'm extremely proud of that diversity within my family. Yet the one thing that, despite our origins or races, one thing we share in common is that incarceration has impacted all of us. Today, I want to speak more specifically about my older brother, who has been incarcerated multiple times as a juvenile into his adulthood. He's in his mid-40s today. He has had struggles with mental health issues his entire life. He has been involved with gangs in the past. He's had physical health issues, traumatic relationships, all while taking care of his only child, my nephew, as a single father for his entire life. My nephew has had, I would say, a very traumatic upbringing. His mother was a substance abuser. She effectively abandoned him at the age of 1, and my brother took him in to raise him. And because of my brother's mental state and anger issues, he was very abusive to my nephew and to the rest of the family, to be honest. My brother has lied to us as family members multiple times. And for me, I don't get as frustrated or disappointed with his lies at this point, because I know that's his defense mechanism. Unfortunately, my nephew started following in his footsteps a few years ago and got arrested for shoplifting. And that was the one thing that, aside from video games, that he and his father actually shared in common. And it's the one thing that my brother really felt like, as a man, as a father, I can tell my son how to survive in jail. And he was proud of that. As an auntie, I was not proud of that. I wanted to protect my nephew just like I would protect my own children. As a function or a part of closing the empathy gap, I'm going to share the raw call recordings between a conversation between my brother and I while he was incarcerated in 2015, so fairly recently. And in this phone call, you'll hear him apologize to me, tell me that, he's been praying and God has given him the answer to stay away from his girlfriend who called the police on him this particular time and got him locked up. How he promised to, get out and take care of his son, and it's just going to be the two of them, and he's going to live happily ever after. And it didn't quite happen that way. However, he did make some progress, and so did my nephew. During this recording, you'll hear how I responded to him as his sister, as his friend, as a mother figure towards him, even though he's older than me. I really wanted to encourage him. And encourage him because he's been going through this cycle for more than 20 years of his life. And now I was witnessing my nephew go through that same cycle. My brother is not uneducated. He graduated from high school on time. He actually went to Job Corps as well. It's where he met a young lady that he stayed with for about 12 years, who helped raise my nephew. He's a very talented artist. He can draw amazing comic books and murals. He's extremely talented. He doesn't use that talent today as much as I would hope, but he does have the talent. And in this phone call, you'll also hear me share with him how to leverage technology while he was incarcerated and how to take advantage of the programming opportunities that are available while being incarcerated.
Hello, this is a free call from an inmate at
Dallas County Jail.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello?
Hey, Nick, hold on. Here goes Junior. Mom said you was trying to call. I wasn't home when you called yesterday.
Yeah, hey, I want to talk to you after I get done with him.
Okay.
All right.
It's your dad. Hold on. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
How you doing, sis?
All right, how are you?
Not too good. I'm just ready to come home. I'm tired of being in this jail.
Huh?
I said I'm just ready to come home. I'm tired of being in this jail.
I know you are, Nick. It'll be over before you know it. It's not forever.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk to you and tell you that I'm sorry if I did anything to upset you. I don't want nothing to come between us.
You haven't done anything to upset me. And it's nothing to apologize about. I'm not upset with you.
Okay.
There's nothing that comes to anybody in life easily. It's never going to be given to you. It's always going to come through pain. It's always going to come through trials. And it's always going to come through tribulation. But you have to use that pain, trials, and tribulation to motivate you to work harder. You have to work harder. And that's the same thing I'm going to tell you. You have to work harder. Harder at being a better you, harder at being happy, harder at being joyous, and just finding something to be positive about. Even if it might seem like it's small, if it's the one thing you can look forward to and keep a smile on your face, that's what you need to do. Because you can't be blessed if you're angry. You can't be blessed if you're always down and depressed. You can only be blessed when you can go through whatever you're going through and still be able to smile and still be able to thank God, and then you will get to the other side. But until you can do those things, you don't get to the other side. You keep going around and around and around the same mountain. And I'm tired of seeing you go around and around and around the same mountain. You can overcome it. Whatever it is, you can overcome it. You just got to put in the work.
But sis, okay. Now, you were saying about mentally for me.
Right.
Okay. Well, I mean, mentally for me, I'm going to try and be a happier person. I mean, I was like I was saying, I was never really a negative person or angry. It was just the moments that I was with Karina that would send me into them, rages. Because I didn't like what she was saying. And I knew it was negative and stuff. I'm trying to be on a positive, but she would just, she would throw me home. But I'm not like that anymore. I mean, I wasn't like that to begin with. I mean, I really, I don't know. I don't know what to do about myself.
Nick, you've been angry as long as I've known you. And again, I'm not saying what I'm saying in a judgmental way, but there's been anger in your heart as long as I've known you, for one reason or another. Things from our past that you and I both know about, things that I don't know about that only you know about, things that only you and Gina know about, the things that you've had to suffer through and endure through. But at the end of the day, when I'm speaking of mentally, all I'm saying is that you have to make up in your mind that no matter who, what, when, or where, that nothing and nobody is worth your peace of mind, and that you're willing to forgive yourself and you're willing to move on. If you can't do those things, you're always going to be stuck in that same rut, and there's always going to be somebody, whether they know the situation or not, that's able to push that button to get you set off. You have to let that go. If you don't let it go, you're always going to find yourself in this predicament. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. You deserve more than that. You are a loving person. I know you're very loving. All you want is family. All you want is to be loved. I know that about you. I know that about you. But you also have your hot buttons. And if you can't learn how to control those hot buttons, it's just going to be the same cycle over and over again. Nick, I've lived the same thing, but I've overcome it because I've just found out at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Me going off, me punching somebody upside the head, me kicking somebody, choking them, whatever, it's not worth what I've established, what I've overcome. It's not worth where I'm going. It's not worth my future. So even if that means it may look like I'm weak for that moment, I look weak for that moment because at the end of the day, I'm stronger because I'm thinking about my future. I'm not thinking about the moment. I'm thinking about more than just myself. I'm thinking about my children and my family and everybody that might have some kind of attachment to me. So that means I have to have self-control. You have to have self-worth, self-love. If you loved yourself, Nick, you wouldn't hurt yourself. You have to love yourself.
I've been trying to do all this life, though, sis. You know that. You know that.
I do. You've done a good job. You've had him from the beginning, from a little child.
From a baby.
Exactly. You've done that. And guess what? You have to keep doing it because he needs you now more than anything else, more than ever. You got him through the school part. The school part, easy. Now he has to become a man. And what kind of man do you want him to be? That's what you should be thinking about. Forget whatever going on with Karina. For me, she is the least important person in this whole conversation. The most important person in this whole conversation is Junior. So what are you doing? What plans have you made? What have you written down? When I get out, this is what I'm going to do for me and for Junior. Have you done any of that?
No.
That's what you could be working on. I know they got a library in there.
They got a law library. Strictly law.
Y'all don't get the newspaper? Have you been taking any classes they offer? They don't have any kind of assistance to help you get a job when you get out? They don't have none of them kind of programs?
Hell, it's hard to get into them programs because there's so many people in here.
I want to see you prosper, Nick. I want to see Junior prosper. I want to see you get ahead. I'm tired of seeing you having to bounce from house to house and state to state. I'm tired of seeing it for you, and I'm not there. But I know what it feels like. You and I both know. We grew up that way. But I made up in my mind I was not going to continue to live like that. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I'm not going to do it. So whatever that means that I have to do to not be in that situation, that's what I'm going to do. And you can do it too. Ain't nothing special about me, that I'm just the most unique one, that I was able to overcome all the struggles in my life. There's nothing unique about that. What's unique is, okay, I made a plan and I worked my plan. Make a plan. Start writing it down. You don't know, you can get out next week. You get out next week, what you gonna do? Start writing my plan? No. Write the plan now like you know you're getting out next week, and then you'll be ready when next week get here. But you gotta keep dreaming, you gotta keep believing, and you gotta keep pressing towards it, because you can make it happen. I have faith in you that you can make it happen. And it ain't contingent upon nobody else's abilities or thoughts but yours. You understand?
Yeah.
You can do it, Nick. You can do it. You never know. You might still be just sitting in there until you write this plan down. Write this plan down. Seriously. Give it some thought. Pray about it. God, what did you put me on this earth for? What am I here for? What is it that you want me to accomplish? Because you didn't just put me here to go through this. So what is it that you do want me to do? And then when he give it to you, or inkling, whatever comes into your mind, whatever your instinct is, then say, okay, God, how do I get there? Some of it's going to be him, and some of it is you having to go look it up and figure out, okay, well, what is it that I need to do? And if it don't work the first time, that ain't the only path to get to where you're trying to get to. Look for another one. But keep working your plan. You can do it, Nick. I believe it 155,000%. You can do it. I know you can.
Okay.
You can do it. It won't take forever. It just takes a little bit of diligence, a whole lot of faith, a little bit of determination, and a whole lot of faith.
Thank you, sis. I needed that. I really did. You don't know how much. You're the first person to tell me that you have faith in me. On something, anything, it doesn't matter.
You can do it.
I have faith in myself, but it gets beat up after a while. It's hard. It really is. It's real hard, especially being in the position I'm in.
It's only for a moment. That's what you got to keep telling yourself. Don't
You
let
have 1
jail
minute left.
have you. You don't let jail have you. You got to change your perspective and your perception of what this time means. And you can use this time positively to get you to your next level. Because I believe that's where you're going, is to your next level. This is just a stepping stone. And if nothing else, you can look at it as, if this is bottom, I ain't got nowhere else to go but up.
Yeah.
See it that way. Don't see it as, okay, this holding me back, this holding me back. No, this is what's going to propel you to the next level. But you have to use it as a propeller. It's not going to do it for you. You have to make up in your heart and your mind that that's what it is, and then go for it.
No, I hear you.
We only got a couple of seconds. I love you before I hang up.
I love you. I'll call you again.
All right. Get to writing your letters.
All right.
All right. Love
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Little did I know at that time in 2015, because I did not see the Securus Foundation in my future at that particular point in time. However, looking back in 2018, this was definitely something that was meant to be. Not just for me personally or for my family as, a family unit, but also to share with you as family members and friends with incarcerated loved ones. To encourage you, one, by letting you know that you're not the only ones going through this experience. Letting you know that incarceration can impact and does impact everyone. It can. Having run-ins with the law, so to speak, can happen. But there's another side to it. It's not the end of the world. 95% of incarcerated individuals will come home, and hopefully come home changed, which would be their decision. But you as a friend or family member can assist them along the way by encouraging them, helping them to leverage resources and programming in your community so that you don't have to do it alone. Speaking for the Securus Foundation and the companies that we are affiliated with, we are strong believers in technology, but at the same time, we also recognize that there's a human element to dealing with people in challenges and circumstances that technology cannot replace. We won't go as far to say that we have the magic bullet. Education is the answer, or video visitation is the answer, or tablets are the answer. No. Because you can't systematize a human's thoughts, abilities, resiliency. You can't wrap that up in technology. That's why the Securus Foundation exists, to help connect those pieces, to use technology, use resources, use programming to help guide you, your loved one, your family towards the path of breaking the cycle. Thank you.